Welcome back. Now, local history is no longer regarded as a dusty subject limited to a few enthusiasts. It's been made much more accessible and attractive with a growing range of beautifully illustrated books and videos drawing on old archive material. In the latest video, local historian Chris Goulding has researched the often forgotten parts of the great city of Newcastle. Mary Wimpress reports.
There are some who see Newcastle as a small provincial city. Chris Goulding views it more as the centre of his universe.
Newcastle upon Tyne owes its existence to that river from which it takes part of its name. That river is the lifeblood of the region, and without it, the city simply wouldn't be here. And the first people to come here were the Romans, who arrived about 2,000 years ago, because just upstream from where I'm standing here was the lowest bridging point, and that's where the Romans built their bridge, the Pons Aelius.
Chris was hired to write the video by a company aiming to make a film of every major city in the country.
It basically describes the history of Newcastle as it can be seen from what's left around the city today. Newcastle's really a city that wears its heritage very lightly. It's not like York or Bath or Chester, who really go for the tourist industry. We don't so much up here, but perhaps that's something that Newcastle should be thinking a little bit more about. What was good enough for the Romans was good enough for the Normans. And above the River Tyne here, the Normans in the 12th century built the castle keep from which the city takes its name. Just behind the keep, you can see the tower of the Cathedral Church of St. Nicholas. Actually, we have a 17th century mayor of Newcastle, Sir John Marley, to thank for the fact that the church still has a tower. The Scottish army who besieged the town during the Civil War threatened to blow it up, but Sir John Marley saved it by putting some Scottish prisoners of war inside the Lantern Tower.
Above all, a city is about change. It moves with its people, and its history is their history. Much of a city's history is easy to spot, but some of the keys to our past are hidden away.
Even here in Northumberland Street, in the modern commercial heart of Newcastle, there are monuments to the city's illustrious history, such as these 4 statues here, which thousands of people walk past every day and don't even notice. It's a very historic city, but it's also been a city that busy people have lived in. It's always been the commercial heart of the northeast, and for that reason I think business has always tended to come first in Newcastle. So lots of the old medieval town wall was knocked down in the 18th century. Even more of it was knocked down by the Victorians to make way for the expanding commercial heart of Newcastle. And because perhaps so much of it was done away with, perhaps the people who've lived in Newcastle since then haven't noticed it so much. But nowadays people tend to be a lot more interested in their own heritage.
Chris welcomes the latest plans to build a footbridge over the Tyne. He believes that more people should walk across the city's bridges to enjoy the spectacular views.
I love that old archive material, mainly because I expect to see you and me pop up in it.